Hello friends, this lecture is in continuation with your lecture series of MEC 8080, which is CNC machines and automation. Today we are going to discuss a very special topic which is very useful in case of designing of the construction of your CNC. The major important part of this unit will be the transducers and transducers classification. It is important in your examination point of view, as well as whenever a machine is to be manufactured, these transducers are to be used, because a CNC machine is completely dependent upon the sensors and transducers. Correct? So I'm going to discuss about the transducers and its classification. So if I would say, what is a transducer? A transducer is a device which converts one form of energy into another form, like your microphone. Correct? Your sound is converted into electrical pulses. Your loudspeaker is inverse of your microphone. Correct? Then a solar cell which converts light into electricity. There are a lot of examples that you can see. Even your electric motor is converting your electricity into the mechanical energy. Correct? So these are some of the images of this. Then what are the types of the classification of transducers, which is very much important. There are so many classification. Even on the further classifications we are having different types. So I am discussing about the first type of classification. Please mention it or note it down. The first type of classification is that is on the basis of method used for transduction. Means what is the method used which is converting one form of energy into the another form. There are four types for the resistive, capacitive, inductive and piezoelectric. We'll discuss in detail one by one. So what is resistive transducer? This can be easily understood by your water tank. On the right side you can see there's a water tank, correct? And depending upon the level of your tank, the resistance of this transducer will get changed. You can see there's a DC motor DC energy supply, correct? Then the movement of this resistance onto this resistive wire, depending upon the level of your water in the tank. So as the water level increases, the resistance would get increased, and finally it reaches to the final point. It gives you the buzzer sound. Correct? So is a transducer which a variation in a quantity or signal produces a variation in resistance. Correct? A variation in resistance is produced. It's a simple example. If I would suggest you to do your fan regulator. Your fan regulators work as a resistive transducer, because as the resistance decreases, your fan speed got increase. Correct? As at one number, your fan is at lowest RPM, having lowest RPM, because the resistance is more. Correct? And vice versa. If you are at a number 4, you are having a minimum resistance depending upon. Correct? So it also work in as a resistive thermometer. A change in temperature cause a change in the resistance of the resistive element. So there are many examples for the resistive transducers. Correct? Then there is a capacitive transducer. Everybody knows about a capacitor which stores the charge. Correct? So if any movement between the capacitor, any variation in the capacitor plates is noted, then the capacitance of a capacitor gets changed. Using that property of a capacitor, we are making the capacitive transducer. You can see there's in this image there are two plates of a capacitor. If there's any movement in the two plates, correct, then there's a change in the capacitance. See, if capacitance increases, capacitance decreases. So movement of your plate. So this can be used in various positions, like two parallel metal plates are separated by a material such as air, which is called a dielectric material. Correct? These are mainly used for the measurement of displacement and pressure. So your pressure can be easily measured by the capacitive transducer, because the variation in the plate, movement in the plate or displacement in the plate will change the capacitance. So depending upon that property, we can make the capacitive transducer. So its measurement in variation in pressure upon a capacitive element proportionally change the element's capacitive weighting, and thus the strength of the measured electrical signal from the device. Correct? As the capacitance changes, your signal strength would vary, and depending upon the signal strength, we can easily find out what are the changes have been made into it. So that is a capacitance which gives us the result. Fine. Then the next one, which is very important application, is used in mobile phones. There is a variation like this device which sends the environment in a form of capacitor changes. So any change in the environment can easily be find it out. Correct? Then the inductive transducer, which is called LVDT, linear variable differential transformer. It is a non-touch, means no connect transducer or a sensor, you can say, which is called linear variable differential transformer. They transform a linear motion into electrical signal. The best example is LVDT. Inductive transducers, what are they doing? It transforms linear motion into electrical signal. Correct? It is important. Correct? Proximity sensor means there's no need to touch the things. There's no need to come in. But at a certain distance, you can easily measure the quantity. Correct? At a certain distance. Like you might have seen now today's doctors are using the LVDT kind of a transducer which senses the temperature of your body at a distance, not need to touch the body. Correct? That is depending upon the LVDT. Correct? The examples are LVDT and tachometer. These are two examples for the inductive transducers. Correct? So the common application is metal detector, traffic lights, car washes, and host of automated industrial processes. Correct? Metal detectors, when you pass by any metal detector door, if you are carrying any metal, so it beeps up. So it depends upon the inductive transducer, or LVDT is used over there. There's a separate lecture for the LVDT in which I have explained the how the LVDT is working. You can find it down in the description. Then the best is it does not require any physical contact. There is no touching is required, no contact is required between the measured value and the LVDT. Then the most important is piezoelectric. Everybody knows about when you press this. This is a special kind of a material is to be used. You can see in this image there is a special kind of material which we call as a piezoelectric material. This material, when you are pressing it, when you are squeezing it, correct, it gives you the piezoelectric, means it gives you the voltage which can be measured by the voltmeter. Those called the piezoelectric transducers. These are mainly used to find out the stresses or the forces working on a material. Correct. When a piezo material is subjected to stress or a force, it generates an electrical potential or voltage proportional to the magnitude of the force. Correct. This makes the transducer ideal as a converter of mechanical energy or a force into electrical potential. So as much as hard you squeeze, the much more will be the voltage. Correct. You can see it's a very simple example for this. This is a lighter, igniter. So there's a piezoelectric material from where the spark is generated. There's already a gas inside it. When it covers to it, when you click it down, so piezoelectric material will rub and electric pulse is generated, which is burning your fuel or the gas. Correct. So piezoelectric transducers. Now the second type of classification. Now what are the second type of classification? That's active and a passive transducers. What I wanted to say, the active transducers are those transducers which does not require any auxiliary power or outside power, external power source to work on. Those are called active transducers. Correct. A passive transducers which require some external auxiliary power to work on. That is called your passive transducers. Correct. Those are the passive transducers. Then the third type of classification is analog and digital transducers. What are analog? Analog transducers which convert physical quantity into analog signal. So what is analog and digital? This is analog and digital signals. Analog is a continuous motion. It's a continuous output. But in digital, there's a step output, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, the form of that is called analog and digital. So whenever a transducer which gives you output in an analog signal, that will become as an analog transducer. If the output would be in a 0, 1 levels, that is called your digital transducer. Depending upon like your bike meter, some bikes there's an analog meter. It shows the 0, 10, 20, 40 and up to 120, and some is digital meter. So those are the differences between analog and digital transducers. Correct. Then the next one is fourth classification is a transducers and inverse transducers. A device which converts the physical quantity into electrical signal is called a transducer. Whenever a device which converts the electrical quantities into non-electrical quantities are called inverse transducers. Like the piezoelectric transducers can act as a both. Correct. When you give them a pressure, when you give them a force, it gives you the electrical signal. When you give them the electrical signal, it converts into the force or the stresses inside it. Correct. So the simpler example for this is to be piezoelectric transducers. Now the fifth type of classification. There's a something we need to discuss about it, like the primary and secondary transducers. Primary secondary transducers are those which is not suitable for the main transducer for obtaining the electrical signal. It is sensed by first stage of the transducers is called primary transducer. Those systems which cannot be directly sensed from the physical quantity, they have to be converted into two stages. The first stage is called primary, the second stage is called secondary transducers. If a particular physical quantity is not suitable for the main transducers for obtaining electrical signal, it is sensed by the first stage called primary transducer, then it sends to the second transducer, which converts into electrical signal, observable electrical signal, and use it for the further calculations. Correct. For a simple example, this is Bourdon tubes. So what is happening in the Bourdon tubes? You can see in this image it is quite different. That a Bourdon tube is a pressure is there. So first end is converted into, on this side the pressure is maintained. On this side is the pressure is maintained. Then this pressure is maintained and made it over here. Clear? So this is LVDT. So any pressure changes would change the electrical flux. Correct? Would change the electrical flux. So the first thing, this is the primary part. Correct? This is the primary part which is converting pressure into any kind of code movement with the use of pulley. This is the first. Then this pulley is converting through a LVDT into a electrical signal over here, output voltage over here. So this is a secondary. Correct? This is the secondary. So this is called both primary and secondary. When the physical quantities cannot be converted directly into electrical signal, then we are using the two-stage transducers. The first stage is this one, which is called primary stage, and then the second stage, this primary is converted into electrical signal, that will become your secondary stage. Correct? So this is the simplest example for the primary and the secondary transducers. So this is all about the transducers. If you wanted to check my other videos, must subscribe my channel Tiny Steps, and you will find the previous lectures, and for the further lectures you can also check this channel. Correct? Thank you and take care.